We're live. Good evening, Zimbabweans across the world. We welcome you to our special breaking news on Change Radio Zimbabwe, live on YouTube and Facebook and on ZimEye, where we are just receiving the disturbing news that the people's president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is under siege and has been attacked by thugs sent by the ZANU-PF regime in a clear assassination attempt. We are joined this evening by our Change Radio DJs and by our journalist on site, Leader Omberaishe. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you just give us a brief of what's going on the ground? What is going on, just to let the world know what is happening on the ground?
I think it was post the meeting, the engagement of the president with the people, that then it was a high-speed chase with the vehicle which was being driven by unknown thugs. So these people then shot towards the vehicle, the presidential vehicle, and the bullet went. I think it's a bullet because it went through the one end and through the other one, with a sharp opening. So as of now, people had to rush to safety. We are on a safe location, and we are trying to mobilize as much security as possible from the youth side, and as well as anyone from the party who is able to be part and parcel of the security. But we can safely confirm that the president has been attacked, and he's safe. But we are very much worried about the continued use of violence by ZANU-PF.
Was anyone injured in the attack?
We are still in a situation of chaos because the reaction thereof was such that people had to scatter around and rerouting towards safety to a safe location. And some of us do not even stay in Tari. We had to reroute and share in locations where people are, so that we can. So we are trying to then determine if there were any injuries. But we can simply say that two vehicles that were attacked, and the same scenario that happened in Mashingo, where people were holding placards and blocking the roads towards Dangambura, is the same scenario that we have had in Manicaland. So ZANU-PF maintains this modus operandi of trying to genial and stop President Nelson Chamisa from being active in this program.
So tell us, the cars that were following the convoy, was anyone identified? What happened to the cars that were chasing after the people's president?
They just hit and ran. And just recently, we had to chase a vehicle which had come with thugs outside our safe house. So they actually agitated to continue and attack. These people, they just hit and ran with unmarked vehicles and vehicles without licenses. But it's those 4x4 double cabs that they use.
But we know this is the way ZANU-PF operates. They attack in these unmarked vehicles and mostly 4x4s. So we are very sure with what happened in Mashingo, like you're saying, it's the same scenario that you're now seeing in Manicaland.
Yes, it's the same scenario that is happening in Manicaland. So we are actually worried about the modus operandi.
This seems like a war, a situation where you find war on the ground.
You see, this is what is happening here. Chamisa is just gotten too much clout for them. They cannot contain the presence of President Nelson Chamisa. So in their bids to stop the citizens' interfaces, they're now trying to instill fear and have so much security implications on the movements of the president. But we are unmoved, we are unfazed. We are just trying to organize ourselves so that we continue with our programming as a part, and we are mobilizing towards the safety of everyone, towards the safety of the president, safety of the top leadership that we have here.
That would be great. Yeah. So thank you very much, Comrade Wombere, for being on the ground with the president as well as some senior leadership there. We hope that you are also safe wherever you are. Obviously, we know the ZANU-PF people are determined to throttle the movement of the president in all provinces in Zimbabwe. Maybe on a positive note, Comrade Womberai, we received some few clips of the videos that were flighted in the afternoon from your side there, and we see a number of people celebrating, welcoming the president, and I'm sure that obviously ZANU-PF saw that and waited until it's late and dark and know the people are back in their houses and then try to stifle attack on the president now. So maybe on the positive note, Comrade Wombera, you might take the viewers and listeners about the day. How did the day went before we continue with the attack of the president?
The day was organized in such a way that the president was meeting community leaders as well as meeting the masses. So you would then converge where the community leaders are converged and meet them, hear their thoughts and opinions towards the citizen convergence. And the video that you are showing there is the video at Beshnaf Bridge shopping center, where the president came. He actually could not come out of the vehicle because the police had come out to close on him. But when he just came out through the window, there was thunderous noises and people mobbed towards the vehicle as everyone wanted to have a jostle of the president. And everyone was shouting, Chamisa ngapinde, Mkomana ngapinde. And it was the message of the day everywhere from that point to everywhere that the president went. Everyone was in a joyous moment, accepting that the president is coming to meet the people and is becoming organic, and the president is moving around, showing that the MDC alliance is still alive. President Chamisa still remains the best foot forward for the movement. So this is what then agitated ZANU-PF to activate its CIO and its military command wing. Because even when we were coming back to Mutare, there were roadblocks along the way, and they were closed by drums. There were soldiers there, there were police there, there were people from the PRG. They were blocking the roads, but we managed to pass through. But then this end at Tangambura, where there was placards and people blocking the roads, that's where all the chaos started. And when the rerouting started, the routes that then were used, they actually knew that these people would then use these routes, and that's where the ambush came from. So that is the situation that we have. But on a positive note, the people of Zimbabwe in Manicaland had their time to meet with the president, and they had a good time. People were taking selfies, understanding that the president is amongst us and is lives. And the young people are clear. They were there. We were there in the afternoon to defend, and in the evening we are there to defend our president. We stay. The young people are here. They are trickling in their numbers, coming from Mvura Chikanga, so that they defend the president. So on a positive note, our security has beefed up. And also on a positive note, the president has managed to meet the people. Also on a positive note, this shows to expose the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa for its true colors. It is a regime that is being fed on people's blood, a regime that depends on hegemonical cohesion. And we as the young people of Zimbabwe are determined to provide change. That's why we are running with the team to say that winning Zimbabwe for change, under the able leadership of Nelson Chamisa as our president in the best foot forward. So we are faith, we are going to move forward. We are not moved.
Yes. So thank you very much for giving us the feedback with regards to what transpired during the day. But also maybe you would want to, without shedding much details there, just want you, since you are on the ground, to assure the people of Zimbabwe, in the world over, just make maybe to assure them with regards to the notwithstanding the attack, but with regards to the safety of the president as we move on. Are you there, Comrade Ombe? I think we have lost a bit, Comrade Womberai, but looking at the pictures now, the clips of pictures that are coming out there, those are the young people. Oh, whoa! There is the deputy spokesperson of the Movement for Democratic Change, the newly appointed, the youth.
I'm very sure and certain that.
Okay, he's back.
I think he's
I
coming
think
and going.
yes. Yes, he's coming and going out, and so we know sometimes the networks that is a rural area of Zimbabwe. Sometimes network is not that stagnant or so like I was saying earlier on, that was the one that we saw there, that deputy spokesperson of the Movement for Democratic Change Alliance, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa. That was Ostalo's gift. Siziva there showing the jubilant street of Dangamvura, of Mtara. I just saw a glimpse of Bechinav Bridge there.
Can I come in quick and then leave?
Yes,
thank
please.
you.
Yes, Prof. Yeah, you had asked me that can we assure the people of Zimbabwe? Yes, certainly we can assure the people of Zimbabwe that the president is currently safe, and we will ensure that we will surrender ourselves before we surrender the democratic revolution and our president. As the young people, we are here to continue with that. The provincial leadership is here. The other leadership is here. The management leadership. We have Comrade Eric Bono, Comrade Judith Tubaiwa is here. We have comrades from Harare. We have Comrade Tunga is also here. We are here as young people in protection of the president. So we can safely confirm that the president is safe and young people are willing and dedicated to provide the security that is needed as we look for the best way forward to ensure that we have total security, because we now understand more than two incidences have happened in a row, well organized, well orchestrated, using state resources. So it is the government of Zimbabwe against the people, and it has taken it towards the number one person that we have put it forward to bring change to Zimbabwe, and we will not be moved by that. We will stand with Nelson Chamisa. We will stand with the MDC Alliance leadership.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much, wonderful. That is very encouraging, Comrade Womberai. Thank you for those words. And we are settled, we are confident that you, along with other MDC Alliance members and youth, will see this thing through. You will continue with the roadmap that is happening. And we know that the president is in safe hands. The movement is in safe hands. Zimbabwe is in safe hands. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us.
Okay. So, DJ Sophie, I heard that Comrade Wombe was speaking about other management leadership that is there. I think they've got a deputy treasurer for Youth Assembly, Comrade Judith Tobaiwa there. Maybe if you can have a voice of a female speaking from the ground, it would be very, very important for us.
Let's just see if we can try and get hold of her. It would be very important. I think, yes, it would be very important. But in the meantime,
if they are together, if they are not together, then we can try some other time.
Okay. Are you still there, Comrade Womberai?
Yes,
Comrade Womberai?
He's still there.
Okay. Are you with the DTG?
We are not together here. We are scattered all over, providing security to the vein.
Okay.
So I had to take a sabbatical from the duty so that I can attend to the information, so that people do not panic.
No problem. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you very much for giving us that information, Comrade Wombe, and thank you very much for making us comfortable wherever we are. The president, we heard that he is safe, but notwithstanding the fact that he has been attacked and there was his attempt to his life, the bullet, we can see that there's a police person there by the door where the president is sitting there. My encouragement to the president, I think all of us, we should not trust this comrade that so much, because we don't know who is sent by Mnangagwa. There is the president there greeting the people. We are happy. You can comment to that.
Yeah, definitely. That is the president, well loved He is indeed the legitimate president of Zimbabwe, and the people of Zimbabwe are not fools. The people of Zimbabwe know who their president is. The people of Zimbabwe love their president, Nelson Chamisa. If you compare those scenes that we're seeing to the scene of the illegitimate E.D. Mnangagwa forcing a child to shake a child's hand and the child refused to take his hand out of his pockets, just compare the two and you know who the president is. So, there's no question about that. This is the people's president. The people love him. And the illegitimate regime know that. And they are unashamed. They will not stop at anything to try and bring the movement down, to try and stop the change that is about to happen in Zimbabwe. But the people of Zimbabwe, I like what I'm seeing because they are showing resilience. They're fed up. They are tired. And they are going out in their thousands to make their voices heard. So this is very encouraging. I'm sure when the election campaign, the president's trip continues, we'll be seeing more and more crowds like this as he's going to different areas in Zimbabwe. So this is quite encouraging. DJ Prof, I don't know what you think about that.
Certainly, indeed, that is quite encouraging. You can see, we used to be told, or even the world has been told, that no, Chamisa will never win in the rural area. Chamisa is not needed, or people in the rural area does not like him. But we can see from the evidence there that is semi-rural area, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the people; they are even like actually scrambling to go and meet the people's president. There is the lady that you see there. Is Judy that I was speaking about. She come as far as Kwekwe to go and support the president. You see, that's solidarity.
Commitment.
Yes, so
Commitment.
that's solidarity we want to travel all the angles of Zimbabwe with the president. Again, DJ Softly, with the other positive note that I've noted there, I saw there were police people there, yes, but I saw them that I think they are saying inside in the Hakem Komana. Why? Because the one that I saw there was holding a button stick. Normally, in the if those people who were sent by Mnangagwa, we would have seen them butchering, beating people around. But I think on a positive note, there we see that the president always speak that the police are the police for people. They are police to maintain peace and order. And from that policeman that I saw there, I think he was also doing the same. There is Comrade Gono, Youth Assembly Election Director there. We are happy to see that Gono traveled all the way away again from South Africa and then to Bulawayo and then to Mtare. So young people are agitating for change, leaders of it.
I was just reading a comment on Twitter by Comrade Gift Ostalo Siziba when he says, we keep moving in the face of danger. This just shows the mood of the Zimbabweans in general, that we keep moving even in the face of danger. People are fed up, people want change, and people are not going to be intimidated so easily to get their country back. So yeah, I think we are seeing something happening, and definitely this is going to show come 2023. And the surprising thing about this is that the people who send these thugs to carry out these underhand jobs, the ZANU-PF bosses, there's the UN special envoy in the country at the moment, um, and they still do something as thoughtless as this to go and send thugs to attack President Nelson Chamisa when this UN envoy is in the country and on a fact-finding mission. I wonder, do they really think about the impact of what they're doing, or kungoita chero zvavangoda because vanofunga kuti they can speak and say whatever they want? The other ZANU-PF guy was saying the US embassy tinogona kuvaitira even more than Taliban. Do they really think about what they're doing? Do you think about that, DJ Prof?
So look, there are. Firstly, let me tell you that there are mixed stories with regards to that UN report was said to be called. Actually, if you go to Hope Watching on Twitter, that person is not even a UN employee. That person is from Belarus. She was part of the negotiation, I think the Iraq negotiation, something like that there. So, Belarus is one of the countries that President Mnangagwa came there.
Illegitimate.
Illegitimate president. He went there and said that he came from there with mega deals. It was Belarus. And actually, Belarus is there for that lady is there for to look for a space for business wise. It's not even an employee from United Nations.
It's not a UN envoy.
Is not a UN envoy there in Zimbabwe, and there's nothing that that lady believe you me that she's going to do or to change anything in Zimbabwe because of that. That's why you see ZANU-PF, they are going into their rampant because they know that this lady is not going to do anything. It's just a matter of wanting to test waters to see where the MDC can. What the MDC can do when we say there's a rapporteur coming into the country, where is the gauge, the MDC's support and so forth. But we know that is not actually the things on the ground.
Yeah. Going on to what you were talking about, Hopo Chingono, he was saying, he commented here and he says, this reported assassination attempt on Zimbabwe's main opposition leader, Nelson Chamisa, is yet another reminder to the world that if one was still needed, that democracy is dead in Zimbabwe. We are now living under a violent rule where anyone opposed to ZANU-PF has their life in danger. Close quotes. So this is just the bottom line. If you are
Yes.
opposed to the ZANU-PF regime, then you are an enemy. Which is what I was saying. This is war for them and they've declared war on the people of Zimbabwe. This is just blatant. It's in your face. I see some comments there. I don't know if the admin can flight some comments for us. There's Joel J. Makotose, who is saying, tojairirwa kusvika rini? Shuwa maZimbabwe tojairirwa kusvika rini? Toita sei? Takangonyarara tichingorohwa, tichiuraiwa takanyarara. Kuri kune dzimwe nyika kunana South Africa, kuNigeria, havajaidzi. They'll be going after the leaders, who actually sending these thugs, and saying, no, we don't appreciate this. We're not going to take this. Look at what happened in SARS in Nigeria. Kuruku South Africa, my businesses, Emma thugs, Emma leaders, why people know them. And we all know what happened in South Africa. And when it's Manicaland Matthias, havanonoki. Isusu kuno kuZimbabwe Joe ataura chokwadi kuti tinojairirwa kusvika rini, kusvika zvaita sei takangonyarara tichiita ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
So
President Nasi, a bullet goes through. Leader Ombereishe, comrade Ombereishe vataura, a leader, a bullet yapinda through one window, ikabuda through the other window. President of the country. And takangonyarara tochino, it goes on. Tomorrow mangwana is another story. Kusvika rini.
Talking of other countries, leader Sophia, is true that if it was like the example that you gave in Nigeria, this is not going to was not going to happen, because you know what, in Nigeria what they do is kana vakatoziva kuti, for example, ndiBuhari ari kutuma vanhu ari kuita zvakati, Buhari ane hama dzake dzinogara kuLagos pakati, they will follow that. Ane vana vake vanodzidza pachikoro chakati, they will follow that. Then it's tit for tat. Ndosaka makazoona kwakazoita inonzi Boko Haram, because they was tit for tat. Kana waitawo zvakadai kwakati, woitawo zvakati kwatiri. Hence it's an eye for an eye. But we know that our president always preach peace. He is saying that kada kuti eye for an eye, patinozotora nyika tinosiya nyika yese yaane mapofu. but kujairirwa chokwadi kwataurwa apa ndokuri kuitwa vana vezimbabwe, because we have our best foot forward
tashika pamwe tiri posilapa.
Okay.
I don't know. Admin, sorry, yes, DJ Prof, you were saying.
Now you can just flight a clips for that, then we can continue. Yes.
Okay.
Wow, this is encouraging. This is encouraging. See how people, I'm speechless. See how people are scrambled to go and just to have a handshake to the president of Zimbabwe. Guys, and then you hear someone that is attempting to kill the hope of the people of Zimbabwe like that.
Ndokuti varambe vachibaka nhai DJ Prof vanozvipa sei macontract ekugadzira mbudzi roundabout for 88 million US dollars. They know that if President Chamisa comes into power, all of that is gone, and it's just a few people, just a handful of people who are causing havoc for the rest of the Zimbabweans. You know, no vanhu vashoma, we can count them on our hands who are benefiting. Vari kukanganisa kuti the rest of the Zimbabweans vawane dignity in the lives of the Zimbabweans. Zviri kuadvocatewa ne-MDC alliance led by President Nelson Chamisa. So, vanhu vashoma who are fighting for this, and they will not stop because they know kuti veni vakangodai also vakangomira, they'll get prosecuted, and there goes the way of living. Havafungi kuti kune vamwe vanhu vanongoda kungofunga kuti ivo vaguta vari vega zvakwana. So, hatichazvida.
Yes, the comment. Can you return the comment? Yeah, D. The comment. Yeah, D. Belarus exactly. So the one of the point, and what was saying that ED went to Belarus. Also, that's where those buses that were replaced to be Zupukos. That's where they come from. That's where exactly that lady is coming from. Actually, that lady is coming to see if the investment that they did in Zimbabwe is yielding results, or are they having profits there? And now she's being squadred as a UN rapporteur, UN envoy, and what. And you can see that these people are lying to the people of Zimbabwe. Why? Because there are a number of debts. The other one is for SADC. To fight sanction. This one is for UN. I don't know, on the 25th, they were saying there's something again. I don't know what was that. But, there are a lot of debts. And they were asked, like yesterday, by this also, I don't know how to call him, but he was asking this other guy who was talking about sanctions yesterday and said, why is Zimbabwe attempting, why is this ZANU-PF government attempting to go and look for this person, to speak for them to the European Union and the United States in terms of sanctions? Why can't they just go straight to them and say, comrades, the things that you said we must do for you to remove sanction, here we go. We are stopping these things. These are the things that you said we must stop. And one of the things that we are no profits there. And now she's being squadred as a UN rapporteur. UN impact, I think, coming there to remove sanction. Here we go. We are stopping these things. These are the things that you said we must stop. And one of the things.
Funny feedback. But yes, anyway, what you got is that, if you allow me, admin, there's a picture, Hilton Tamangani. If you remember him, Hilton Tamangani, the one who died in police cells 2 years ago today. in Harare Central Prison. Remember, he was assaulted pakata kwa vanhu paHarvest House, and he was one of the vanhu vanga vari paside, akarohwa, akakuvadzwa. He was denied medical attention until he died in Harare Central Prison. It was, they said it was a raid on vendors and they dragged him to jail. So these are people who died for the struggle. And it's 2 years today that we remember Hilton Tamangani, and we want to continue to say, Kuti, may his soul continue to rest in peace. He did not die for nothing. The Zimbabwe that he and many others died for is coming to fruition, and ZANU-PF knows this. This is why they are doing things like this, to frustrate the movement. So yeah, tinongoti nematambudziko tichiri kufunga, there's Hilton, tichiri kufunga Hilton akatisiya, tiri kuchema, tinongoramba tingochema nemhuri yake yakasara. Tinongoti comrade Hilton, zororai murugare. Zimbabwe yamakafira hamuna kufira for nothing. Zimbabwe is coming, and we remember you, and we, our hearts are still, you're still in our hearts and in our minds and in our prayers.
So there was this guy yesterday, and he blocked me after he was speaking on this Kambakwe and Kambakwe what. He was actually saying that his name is Rutendo Benson what I forget his name.
No. We are no.
That guy is actually if for me, I'm telling you, I'm going to say it on live now. That guy is a witch.
Yeah, it's Rutendo Benson. I think
bad person.
no, he's a very bad person.
I can tell you that he is telling the people of Zimbabwe that sanctions are illegal. When people like this die just for nothing, just for being an opposition leader, and he's saying the sanctions are illegal, there is no human rights abuse in Zimbabwe. When people like us lost our brothers, lost our sisters in the hands of ZANU-PF, and you come and tell me that the sanctions are illegal, there is no human rights violation in Zimbabwe. Actually, I take on him, he blocked me. Because I gave him examples, and I told him to give me evidence to say why is he saying it's illegal. We spoke about the August 1. We spoke about the January 19. We spoke about even goes back to Gukura Wind of 1985, before even some of us were born, and it's still hounding the people of Zimbabwe. And someone is saying there's no human rights abuse. So is it good that a black person must kill a black person? It's fine. But if any white person not only touches a black person, it goes to racism in Zimbabwe. Why is it like that? Why are we socialized? Why have we been grown up in such a situation where people must generate the things that are done with our fellow black people, our fellow black people we call our leaders, and now everything, even corruption in Zimbabwe. I wanted to speak on the issue of corruption and the issue of rapid. Do you know that ZANU-PF itself, in terms of sanction, is just a mantra? They don't even want the sanctions to go. Why? Because they are using those sanctions to loot in Zimbabwe. Anyway, let's go to the comment. Hans Jonina Leonard Jera. Hans, the days are numbered. Indeed, the days are numbered. We are waiting for Mkomana kuti apinde. ZANU-PF isiyo yega inogona kurwa, guys. Tajairirwa zvakanyanya, tachiva taridzawo kuti nesuwo tinozvigona. You know Mkomatariro Maposa, it's true. ZANU-PF haisiyo yega inogona kurwa, and inozviziva kuti haisiyo yega futi inogona kurwa, because if you look at the demographic of Zimbabwe, the young people are for change. The young people are for empty. That's why they rely on rural areas. Kunana gogo vedu vanotaura kuti muzukuru ndakapona murwizini nguva yehondo, vachiri ngofunga hondo. But the young people are saying no, we want to take the country somewhere. But again, remember kuti izvi zvinongoitwa kunge vanhu mabatana citizen convergence for change. Then motaurana kuti vakomana izvi hatichadi and tajamuka and taakuda izvi, then mowirana izvozvo vanhu voenda vakadaro. Mukomani Kabuto Dao, if you are saying human rights abuse are sanctionable, are you insinuating that Matabeleland massacre were not sanctionable?
We cannot ignore, we can never ignore Gukura Undi. We can never. Gukura Undi needs to be spoken about. Gukura Undi, people need closure. It needs to be resolved issue yoyo. And what makes it worse is that Gukura Undi, Rwadza because the person who was in charge of Gukura Undi, of those thousands and thousands of people who were killed in Gukura Undi, is now the leader of the country, even though he's illegitimate. So there's no way he's going to open inquiries. There's no way he's going to incriminate himself and those who he was working with. Gukura Undi was a very painful time. People would, pregnant ladies would be cut my belly open, mafita sachiburitswa kuti zvivana zvegukura Undi vana vachiuraiwa. These thugs would go into homes and rape women in there. Vachiti varume vacho ngavaimbe vakuze, it's very painful times. Gukura Undi needs to be spoken about. Gukura Undi needs to be resolved. So, zvekuti sanctionable izvi hapana ma-sanctions aripo. It's just those targeted people that need to answer for all the crimes they've been committing even before independence. Vanga vari ma-thugs. Ende vakawanda vacho vaitiza, anyway vaitiza ma-Selous Scouts havana kumborwa. Tikada kutaura chokwadi. Havana kumborwa. So, you know what? Sorry, admin.
Vakarwa vakapera kufa vese.
The true heroes are no longer there. We are left with thugs, opportunists, vanhu vanonyepa, people who are cruel, who will kill even
taxi drivers. Taxi drivers. Vaiwanda hondo, vakarwa hondo chacho vakasiyiwa, vakasiya vana chief tangwena vachifa vasina kana chavakanga vainacho, but no vanhu vakaparticipate in the war. Cade and Angel, Hans, what's going on, guys? Just keep on listening. You hear
what's going on, Caden, is that the president was almost assassinated in Manicaland today. So this is what we're bringing, this breaking news. Our president, the people's president, the rightful president of Zimbabwe was almost assassinated by thugs in Manicaland. So this is what is going on. Palimama commented, admin, I saw there were a lot of comments that were coming up. There's the window that shows the bullets that went through. It came from the back and came through the side. Hapana dombo rakadaro. Bullet raro vane kumashure apo. Rikabuda the other picture. If you can show us the other picture kuside. Rikabuda ne apo. So if someone was there, obviously nakada yatoraiwa.
Hakuna dombo rakadaro.
Hakuna dombo rakadaro. That's a bullet.
Yeah, hakuna dombo rakadaro. Can you just flag some comments and let's participate with our viewers, IT department, so that we can continue in that way. Yeah, so you can see the pictures. Anzi namkoma Kabuto futi vadzoka. Anzi, if you can ignore it, why was ZANU-PF
you can't ignore it?
We are not ignoring it. If you are ignoring Gukura Undi, I think Gukura Undi it's a talk of the day, Mukoma Dao, and no one, even if you go to a grade 1 child now, knows about this Gukura Undi. It's not an issue that has been ignored. It's an issue that was even supposed to be sanctionable, but obviously people of that time do not think the same way with the people of today. There was human rights abuse at that time. Maybe the countries, because we are not the ones that give sanctions. Exactly. This question actually must be asked to United States and the people that give those sanctions. And we must also be clear. the sanctions were not given to Zimbabwe, and actually the Azidera sanctions are targeted sanctions for the people who are not allowed to step in America, who are not allowed to step in Australia. These people, they're just fighting. There's nothing very economic to them. Go today, one of the actually the highest number one trading country with Zimbabwe as we are speaking now is United States of America. Business is done as usual, but it's only that Mnangagwa and his cronies are not allowed to go to America. Simple. And why is it that they are fighting to make it political to want to visit another country that they do not want you? If I don't want you to visit my house, I don't want you to come to my house. Don't go to my neighbors and say, please, can you speak to this guy from Change Radio that I want to go to his house by force? I don't want.
It's simple. You know, another thing I just want to mention to Ubuti Ngabuto, you know, you must also remember that during that time when Gukura Wundi was happening, a lot was being hidden by the government of the day. Even up to now, that a lot of things have not been exposed. You know, people are now building houses. You know, where Lupane State University is, a lot of construction coming up, and people find that Panama shallow graves, there are hundreds of human skulls that no one knows about. A lot of these things were being hidden, and they would not expose themselves to other countries. So therefore, you know what, they were playing it down and saying no more dissidents, just a few dissidents here and there, it's nothing big. So you know, because they were trying to hide it, the issue of sanctions at that time did not come up as well. It's only now that people are talking about it, and these things zvakufukunurwa zvichibuda kuti no, this is the extent of what was going on. This was serious. It was a Rwanda in the, you know, that was happening.
Genocide.
So now that people are seeing what's going on, it comes in the light. It must be spoken, and these victims and their families must be compensated. So as it is coming out, you know, a lot more investigations will need to be done. It must be done. It must just not stop talking chete, but action must be seen. And you know, the people of Kukura Undi must have their day.
They must
I
be
think.
compensated.
Yeah.
And also, my brother also, like I said, I think he need to also to look at the time that all these things happen, and also he must also know that Gukura Wound was also done during the time when other countries were still in war in Africa, including even South Africa, for example. They were still under apartheid, and people were actually the major powers who even impose sanctions now to the targeted sanctions to the individuals in Zimbabwe were in war with other countries, and they were still trying also to do the colonization, which we were actually fighting, and to be democratic and to be democratic republics. So you must also understand that. But even myself now, I think one of the comments that was said there is that the victims of Gukura must be compensated, and actually they must be compensated by the people who killed their families, relatives, whatever the name. But one of them was the current Emerson Mnangagwa was actually the chief architect and the planner of that Gukura Wound. People must do that, and must go and ask Mnangagwa those questions. But President Chamisa is always saying this now, time and again. People of the victims of Gukura Wundi must be compensated. A word must, it means that there's no doubt they have to be compensated.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So,
But anyway, the story of the day that we are flighting is that there has been an assassination attempt on President Nelson Chamisa in Manicaland. There's a picture there of the president's car, where a bullet, we don't know how many bullets were fired at the car, but there's a bullet that came out from the back to the side of the vehicle. There were 12 unmarked, unregistered vehicles, twin cab in nature, that blocked him on the road and were following him and were trying to block his road. Fortunately, we spoke to one of the comrades on site with the presidential vehicles and the presidential team, and he did confirm that the president was safe. They were just trying to regroup and just trying to get the scale of what happened and see who was injured, how many people were affected. So we should be coming back with more news on that. This is breaking news happening in Manicaland that has just happened a few hours ago, where the people's president was attacked and an attempt was made on the life of the president, President Nelson Chamisa in Manicaland. So this is where we are. You're with us on Change Radio, YouTube and Facebook, and on ZimI Facebook. We're just giving you an update on what happened today in Manicaland as Change Radio. Moving on, I'm not sure, are there any more comments that our viewers are putting up so that we can engage with them? The picture there is showing a bullet flew through one of the windows of the vehicle carrying President Nelson Chamisa and out through the other. This attempted assassination and use of gunshots on President Chamisa's vehicle and others that is part of his convoy are cause for grave concern. David Guyo
So
says,
yeah.
mm,
So, David, we were saying that how far true is it that the president is under attack now in Mtare at VP Vice President's house? Comrade David, thank you very much for your concern, and we just want to confirm that the president is safe. We know there were skirmishes of attack there by the vice president's house, but the president is safe now. Is safe now, as has been confirmed by one of our journalists there. So yeah, the president is safe. That's what I can just say to my brother or my leader there, Guyo. Rose Ward, they need
Benson
some
Matinyarare is here. Rutendo Benson Matinyarare is here.
kana ari pano ngaataure hanzi, is that what a bullet hole looks like? Rutendo Benson Matinyarare,
this guy
aiwa,
blocked
ngaataure
me
what? No,
yesterday.
he must say what a bullet hole looks like instead of asking silly questions.
Does he know what a bullet hole look like?
That's what I'm saying. He must say what a bullet hole looks like.
This guy is crazy, and he laughed at. You see what the post is putting there. Zimbabwe anti-sanction. Can you put it back, leader?
Which
Can you
one?
put it there?
Yeah, Rutendo.
His picture.
Yes.
Oh, per picture. Okay. Let's see. If I
Can you put it back?
Yes. Let me. I'm just looking for his comment.
Actually, this guy, to be honest, is an insult to the people of Zimbabwe. This guy.
Yes, I hope one day people will catch him and do him justice.
No, I know. Do you know the worst part? The worst case scenario is hiding. He's in South Africa. He's not even in
South Africa.
Yeah.
He's in South Africa. If Zimbabwe was so good for him, why is he not in Zimbabwe?
Why is he in South Africa?
Why is he in South Africa?
Yesterday he was bragging, the people of the ZANU-PF people, they don't want me close because they think I want to take their position. To hell with you, comrade. To hell with you. I'm saying it publicly. We lost relatives because of this ZANU-PF. You are saying anti-sanction and what. This is nonsense, basically. This is actually nonsense.
Anyway. What does a bullet hole looks like? So if he really wants to inform the nation of Zimbabwe, if he really wants people kuti vasamutuke kuti haana kukwana, ngaataure what a bullet hole looks like.
He must go and inform them there. This Benson, that's why I don't know. I really don't know. But this is an insult to the people of Zimbabwe. Anyway, let's move. I tend to be emotional when I see someone speaking like this, because for me it's a family matter. I know I lost relatives because of ZANU-PF, and I know I am from Rushinga. I lost relatives, and I know the people that played a part in that, and they are still scot-free. They are working. and they are traveling everywhere they want, and ZANU-PF is mime about that. But
exactly,
time will
just
come.
exactly like what Vena Badze is saying. Hanzi ini ndinorwadziwa mhuri dzavo dziri kunze kwenyika vanofundisa vana vavo ikoko kuno vachinyima mateachers mari nemadoctors iko zvino nyika yapera nemachina.
Imagine kuti machina they are going to mine in people's homesteads.
Vari kudzinga vanhu pamisha yavo pane makuva ehama dzavo anasekuru avo amadzitateguru avo voenda vongonokuvono. It's not right.
And one of the families said, when you become popular in Zimbabwe, things actually spread very quickly. The Aston Villa player, the Zimbabwean guy, Marvelous
Nakamba,
his family is being removed from his home area now. Imagine how I don't know. Imagine kuti kana Marvelous achitaura kuti Aston Villa kuti ndiri kukumbirawo kunogadzisa mhuri yangu Zimbabwe iri kudzingwa payakagara muZimbabwe imomo. How does it show to the people of the world? Is the person anenge akawatchwa with the millions of people from all over the country. Onzwa kuti Aston Villa nhasi haasi kutamba adzokera kuZimbabwe.
China unogadzira kuti machina aiswa pane pamusha pawo. Tikakangwarira ka, let me tell you, kuti zveni machina ari kupinda achiita zvavanoda. Do you know kuti kuDjibouti kune mapurisa emachina ari muDjibouti. They've got their own police camp there, their own military camp there. Yekuti imagine monzi mune mapurisa ekuchina muZimbabwe wotoisa police station yavo mapolice station avo muZimbabwe echina CRP, China Republic Police muZimbabwe. Saka it means hamutorina sovereignty yenyu, hamuna chenyu chamuinacho. Saka tikasangwarira machina yachatidaro. I remember there was a time when there was an uproar in Zambia. Someone went with his wife to a Chinese restaurant and then ndobva akanzibuda panapa because there are no foreigners allowed. Imagine machina achiudza a Zambian person in Zambia kuti no foreigners allowed. Who is the foreigner?
Imagine. And I understand even Chinese mall iri along Bulawayo Road vakatotanga kuita discriminate against ma native Zimbabweans. They haven't quite put it out in the open.
That is why Hichilema came in and said that if you know for sure that you are a China and you want to invest in Zambia, now there's a new government, you come and invest in Zambia, you employ the people of Zambia, and you are not going to be the jack of all trades. You can't own a mine. You own the transport that transport the minerals. You are the one who has got the melting machine. When you come and invest in mine, if you want to extract, stay on extraction, then give a Zambian person transport to transport those. So we are not going to be everything like what is happening in Zimbabwe. Chinese are doing everything. They are even importing their own workers. Look at all the pictures that are coming up when people are working there in Zimbabwe. Chinese are the one which are more than the people of Zimbabwe there.
Hansi na Charamba na George Charamba, he is dismissing Chamisa Mutare attacks. Hansi, the opposition leader, said he was blocked just outside of Mutare. But he is saying, George Charamba is saying that there are fake attacks on the MDC alliance leader. What can you expect from someone anoti mukadzi ari kurwara, ari kutofa, omukika karati ari mumba, George Charamba? You know, we never forget what you have done and what you did to your poor wives. We don't even say wife, to your poor wives. Vekuti vanhu vari kurwara, the wife has asked you, look, I've gone to hospital, I've tested HIV positive, what is going on? And then you kick munhu ari kurwara ari kufa necancer womurova karate, une black belt in karate. So musoro mako hapana zvaunombotaura zvekuti what is fake and what is not fake, George Charamba. Possibly those people have come from you, and we are not scared to say it out because taneta nekutya, taneta nekutya, muchida kutiurayira president, muchida kutiurayira masupporters, muchida kutiurayira vana vezimbabwe. Zvakwana. We asked you a long time ago, go in peace. You will not go in peace. Saka the ballot box will speak in 2023 and muchaenda muchida musingadi.
Exactly.
I think people of Zimbabwe must understand when George Charamba is speaking, it's not him speaking. He's speaking for his life. Remember, George Charamba, he begged Emerson Mnangagwa for him to come back to be a spokesperson because he was a spokesperson for Robert Mugabe. He survived by a whisker, that guy. So for now, he cannot say anything that is against Mnangagwa because he knows he's on the line. So he's actually speaking for. Actually, when George Charamba is speaking, it's not George Charamba; it's his life there. So people must also feel pity for him. He is just a nobody there, and we
don't even want to feel sorry for him because he's benefiting. Ari kuba mari, ari kutodya mari dzemaZimbabweans. Kamwana kake akakaisa maoko mumwe kachiramba kumhoresa ED. Imari yekuti inobhadhara school fees, ikamupa chikafu, ikamupa hembe kwadzo. Vari kudya mari idzodzo. Pane paakabuda aine gazebo kuseri kwake nezimota achiti ndiri kufamu. You don't feel sorry for people like that. They are living large at our expense. I don't even feel sorry for him. I'm sorry. I do not even feel sorry for him.
You know, George Charamba, with his whatever they call that, has got a carrot, whatever. We saw George Charamba kneeling down like Murora. Achikumbira Mnangagwa kuti ndokumbira regero nezvakaitika nguva yaMugabe. So this guy, there are some people we can take serious, not George Charamba. There are some people we can take serious.
Actually, funny enough, mota dzavo dzinongotemwa pa same place on every occasion because they are the ones who train the people. Vanenge vakatena kuti bullet munorova so. It's exactly what it's showing us. These are the people who are trained by the same military, same strategy, same training. Saka vanonzwa kuti vanongodziva kuti vanorova neapa neapa neapa. Kusamwe kusafunga kwacho hatina kunyanya kupusa stereki. Tinoanalyzawo tichiona kuti aiwa zvakadaiwo so, saka munenge muchiziva kuti tinorova takadai, mota ichifamba inorohwa yakadaiwo so. That's why muri kurova mota ichifamba ichirova nebullet ichibuda ne the other side. Ngavasatiite mafuzi.
Listen here. George Charamba actually is just confirming what ZANU-PF is all about. Yes. ZANU-PF, if you want to hear the correct news, just take what ZANU-PF is giving to you and put it the other way around. That's the truth. ZANU-PF is actually their doctorates. I like the way that at one time Tendai put Vice President Tendai put them in. They said they are archbishops, archbishops of liars, ZANU-PF, and they are like that. And there's nothing. People of Zimbabwe, we now know. Once we want, even if you want to read a herald, someone said if you want to read a herald, take it and put it upside down. Everything that you are seeing upside down is true about ZANU-PF. Because they are like that. They are like that. Hanzi na Rosie, what Hanzi? I work with Chinese guy that said he wants to go Zimbabwe to mine gold. I told him what the Chinese people were doing in Zimbabwe, and he was so ashamed. So look, the Chinese people who are not in Zimbabwe, they are same like a Zimbabwean who is not in Zimbabwe, because when you are told and you see what is happening in Zimbabwe, you feel ashamed of what ZANU-PF is doing to the people of Zimbabwe. Because actually there are unbearable things that they are doing there. Some of the things that are inhuman, that if a human being is actually associated to that, people would think, this is not supposed to be done to a human being. But ZANU-PF is doing that. Vusimoyo. I'm watching from Gwanda. Thank you very much. Kunjani pa kuchani kona ngale Gwanda Vusimus. Siyabonga. Skona kuchange radio Zimbabwe kanyona kuzim I and Facebook. Sikulumane lutabolo president wetu befuna assassinate namhlanje, so sikona. Thank you very much. Alfred Aluminium. So what they are trying to prove to the people by attempting to kill our president? Why other countries they are not interfering. Okay, so there are a lot of politics in play there, Alfred, that if we start discussing today, it will spend another day in terms of why other countries are not interfering in a Zimbabwe situation. But maybe I can answer you in terms of what are they trying to do assassinating the people's president. Actually, they just wanted um, to make the people of Zimbabwe leaderless, if I can say that, because the people of Zimbabwe have said it and it has gone spread like a wildfire, like paraffin speed. People of Zimbabwe are saying Mkomana ngaapinde. Mnangagwa ane politics dzakadhakwa. Shokos, Mnangagwa ana politics is not a politician at all. He's just a killer. He's not a politician at all. Don't put Mnangagwa. When you're speaking about politicians, don't speak of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is not a politician. We can maybe what's this guy, the former Jim Kunaka is by far politician than Mnangagwa. By far, Mnangagwa is not a politician, just a killer. Alexander,
but I just want to say as well, you know what you were talking about ZANU PF kuti kana yataura something mukaipidigura ndo chinenge chiri chokwadi chacho. I was just thinking about our three girls, you know, Anna, Joanna, na Cecilia, na Netsai. You know, we're talking about them just yesterday kuti, but you know, this is madness. Vana vo abductwa, vo abuswa, voitiswa kuti vadye, you know, human excrement, urine, what, and then vobuda imomo, and then vobva vanzino pamusoro pazvo aiwa muri kutaura manyepo, then they are charged with lies. Vari kuendera kukoti kuti makanyepa zvinhu zvakaitika kwavari. You know, this is just the government that we're dealing with. They punish you and then they turn it around and say uri kunyepa, then they punish you for what they have done to you by saying that you lying. What sort of cruel people are we dealing with? Havazi vanhu ava, havazi vanhu, imhuka.
I know. You see, it's also being confirmed by, like, maybe in addition to Joanna Mambe's case and stuff, we have got Makomborero Ngaruzivishe, who is languishing in prison now. And if you tell any level-headed person, what is the case yakainisirwa kujere, even the judge himself or herself today akangofunga kuti ndakaendesera Makomboro Ngaruzivishe kuti aridza pito mujere,
havazvifungi, vanobhadharwa, vari kupa mari, havazvifungi ava. Ndataura kuti havazi vanhu.
Just a whistle inoendesa munhu mujere, but 60 million for COVID, for the life of the people in Zimbabwe. Anotonzi acquitted, haana mhosva. Chombo was caught during the time of Mugabe, was caught with money, millions and millions of dollars in the house. My bodyguards akaurawa futi kumba kwake, but now haana mhosva. We saw a hereditary Rishwaya being caught pa airport nema gold. Actually, the person akatombata pa airport pacho, he was fired. Iye akadzoka pabasa. To the same organization inoita zvemagold, what's the name of this? It will come back, but I know what but she went back there as a director again. Anzina Mukoma Marvin Mudzengerere, the regime must go. We are tired of ZANU-PF. They have some strategy full of lies since 1980 to when everyone is happy in Zimbabwe. People from ZANU-PF Povo are suffering. That is the truth. I think aringotaura kuti munhu wese muZimbabwe ari kutambura kubva even kuZANU-PF kwacho.
Zimbabwe, we are all suffering because of this ZANU.
Exactly.
Hanzi naAlfred Aluminium, tatambura kudarika zvakaitwa nevana veIsrael amana. 41 years here. Army and police vari kutiregerera. Mukomana ngaapinde yake pamwe tingadzoke kumusha.
Yes, it's true. Vana veIsrael vakaita 40 years in wilderness. isusu tatora 41 tatodarika vana veIsrael.
Zvinonyadzisa,
Zvanzi
zvinonyadzisa.
nasisi Nyembezi panapa Nyembezi musauzandi. Bulletproof is good for the president, yes. What about his team? Something better need to be done. So in this maybe I can just comment in this as Nyembezi. We are, and also other viewers and listeners here, we are trying to raise the money for the bulletproof car for the president. Obviously, the bulletproof car for the president ndo munenge mune timu yake imomo, ndo munenge mune ma-securities ake. So we are still trying to raise the fund for the president. The funds are coming. We want to raise 120,000 US dollars. Funds are coming. There's GoFundMe. There's GoFundMe link. You check GoFundMe links on all the medias. You find it. Yakanzi only fund for President Nelson Chamisa bulletproof car. Yeah, so that's where that's as far as we have gone for now.
I think that also answers DJ Prof question yanga ichibvunzwa kuti what are people saying, what do we think can happen in the future to prevent this going forward. So Yamataurayo is one of the plans that will try and prevent this going forward in the future.
Yeah.
And
so
can our viewers and listeners also post their suggestions? I saw someone wrote that we could buy bulletproof vests for the for the whole team.
Yes.
I think it was Rosie India Daro.
Isayo ma suggestions enyu tibatsirane.
In Zimbabwe yedu tese. Zvamamutaura zve41 years pane hanzi Alice Chibada hanzi let me be controversial a bit with hard facts. Zimbabwe has 6 central hospitals: Mpilo, UBH, Harare, Parenyatwa, Chitungwiza, and Ingucheni. In 41 years in power, ZANU-PF's only contribution was Chitungwiza. All the other 5 were built by the Rhodesian government. 41 years of doing nothing except looting, then blame sanctions. Yet the Rhodesians were under proper sanctions with trade embargoes. How do targeted sanctions affect the ordinary citizen? I think corruption and looting of 100 million US dollars per month by elites is what affects the citizens. Do you know that $2 million is enough to revamp Paris Hospital? So imagine what $100 million will do. If you stop looting, you will develop the country, and sanctions won't stop national development. So it's very, very simple. 2 million hands revampa Parenyatwa ikadzokera zvainge yakaita in the early 80s, 90s. So, and then if we look, just 2 million yataurwa, yet nezuro kuda kwacho tagwira yapiwa 88 million yekuigadzira pambudzi roundabout paya. Muchaona kugadzirwa kwacho zvichangoita zvekungoitwa facelift zvisina nebasa rese, but 88 million will revamp Parenyatwa 44 times. 44 times.
Seko ye mari yacho chingopiwa munhu 1 munyika ine 14 million naivedwe.
Yeah, anyari kana mukazomutarisa kuzviningirira
ndiye akapiwa futi yecommand zvimakomandi zvese ndiye akazvipiwa, command agriculture, command lobola, command what zvese ndiye aingopiwa. Iko zvina akupiwa command roundabout foot. Where are we going with this country?
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. It's time
Erisha M. If anything happens to Chamisa, ZANU-PF is history. Not using guns to protect ourselves doesn't mean we can't use the firepower. It's true. But we are not going to wait for ZANU-PF to kill Chamisa. Never in our lifetime. That will not happen. We will never allow ZANU-PF to do that to the people's president. Never in our lifetime. And I'm sure that the young people, they know. The young people, pana akaudzwa kumasvingo kuti kana iwe uchifunga kuti wakapenga sere kupinda apa, tikugadzirire uone kuti hauna unopenga uri panze panapo uchiri kutomoka uchitaura wakabata zvimaplakadhi but kana udaona kuti hauna kunyatso unogadziswa zvakanaka nakapinda apa pauri kuti hapana hapapindike akatadza kupapinda just to show that we don't want we are not a violent party. MDC is not a violent party. Advocate Nelson Chamisa, he always say to the people, we are not a violent party, but don't try us because we can do extremely and above all things that they think they can do. ZANU-PF, they know that. Anyway, so yeah, leader Sophia Mamambodona.
Mama maningirikini varakasha vari kutidaro.
Handitika. Asi Benson ero.
Benson mumwe murakashi manje hatishishidzirwi.
Murakashi uyo.
Benson murakashi mukuru. Ndakanzwa chichibhosa anzi ndakazonyora tsamba ndikati baba muri kupedza mapeji yenyu hakuna kwazvinoenda siyana nazvo zvamuda kutiitira izvo.
Makanyorerani tsamba?
Hanzi ndakanyorera tsamba kuna ropa tour kuti ngaongorore zvakati nyaya yemasanction ndikati aiwa itai nyaya dzenyu dzekubelarus mega tipinde ikoko isu pinde ikoko munyorera ropa tour enda kuamerica unowanyorera wakawanda
ngatitatsikwa chief vapinda.
Welcome chief
DJ Prof Magadi Sophie Estela. This is right, Magadi.
The new haircuts.
Yes. Manje chief mapinda takupeta zvirauro kaisusu.
Ngatipete zvirauro tese. Tokubatsira kupeta zvirauro.
Mapinda nemusoro wedu wenyaya we-assassination attempt yaitwa on President Chamisa in Manicaland. And tichiwana ma-suggestions kune vanhu toda kungonzwa tisati tapeta kuti 2 cents dzenyu chief yamungatipawo semunhu mukuru so mungatipawo mashoko maviri matatu ekuti chii.
Yes, I think what is clear now is what ZANU-PF is trying to do. ZANU-PF is not playing. They want to assassinate President Chamisa, period. They can come up with any excuses. I heard what Charamba is giving as an excuse. We have had several reactions from ZANU-PF, including from Chinamasa and other people. They even set up a press conference to try and react to this. But there is no other way to react to it. The people of Zimbabwe know the truth. ZANU-PF wants to assassinate President Chamisa. ZANU-PF is afraid of what will happen in 2023. They know their destiny. They know they cannot stand a chance, even a glimmer of a chance against President Chamisa. Even if President Chamisa does not campaign, he will still beat Mnangagwa hands down. Mnangagwa doesn't have people. Mnangagwa does not have any meaningful votes for 2023. So the only way out for him is to destabilize the people's president, is to destabilize the people's party, is to make sure that President Chamisa is not on the ballot box. And they are not stopping short of anything. They can even kill, because the reports that we have, what we heard on the ground, I was talking to people on the ground, was the chase, the way they were coming after President Chamisa, including even firing live bullets. I was being shown the pictures of President Chamisa's car that we cannot display right now. You can see that what happened to that car is not an ordinary stone. It's not a knob carry. It's not a log. That's a bullet. So we are seeing here ZANU-PF arming ordinary citizens, and I don't even want to call them ordinary citizens. These are rogue army officials and police officials, that have been removed their uniform, and they are being put on the streets as hooligans. These are not hooligans. if you want to use the word hooligan, then use the word trained hooligans. These are people that know what they're doing. These are people that have a mission. I think it's an order that has come from Emerson Mnangagwa that you need to stop these men at all costs, and that includes spilling blood. That it includes killing President Chamisa, and it's so sad. And as I finish, it's just good, very good, that they are doing this in the eyes of the United Nations Special Rapporteur, who was also trying to be funny, who was trying to be stupid, who has been bought or his hands has been oiled by ZANU-PF, as they always do. They use our money, they use our resources money, diamonds money, to bribe people, to bribe officials. They have done it before. We know they do it, and we are convinced that they have done it now. But I am glad that all this is happening right now in the eyes of the United Nations. We want to hear what they are going to say, because this is clear. There is no one who can stage manage their own death or intended death. There is no one who can premeditate, to do what is happening right now to themselves. If you speak to the people that are on the ground, you can tell that people are worried about President Chamisa. People are worried even about their lives. I was talking to Vice President Karen Cole. You could tell that people are worried that this is something that we have never seen before. Mugabe never used to do anything like this. This is worse than any other dictator that I have heard to talk about.
Indeed, people do say this dispensation is worse than Mugabe. Now takuzvionera tega pamunhu sefodya kuti ichokwadi these people are just cruel. They are worse than what was there before. So kana vanhu vachida kuataka a president, the true president of Zimbabwe in broad daylight, mota dzaenda dzikabloka maroad zviri pachena zvaonekwa the whole world, and either that they are very cruel kana kuti havatofungi zvachose.
Leader Sophia, I think there's very important. Now I've seen two people already. The very important information that we need to give to people. Pane ari kubvunza uyansobi matsama hanzi aufani nyaya yemari yemota yapapi guys uye tinopa ani vamwe tiri out of the country, we are ready to contribute. So the GoFundMe link yaiswa pasi apo, the GoFundMe iyo iri kumhanya pasi iyo. Ndamboona futi umwe angaichara kuti hanzi I want to contribute also. People who want to contribute for the presidential bulletproof car, please put your money into that link. Iri pasi iyo, copy that link, woisa pa web browser yako, inobva yakupa machannels how to do it all along. Kana vanenge varikundikana the link yacho, please contact Change Radio on the number yatinogara tichingoisa pascreen every day, the +44 number. You get assistance. Please, you can go ahead. Leader Sophia, I just wanted to say
also
this.
in comments I also put the link. So the link, if you're on ZimEye, it will be the comment by ZimEye. If you're on Change Radio, Facebook Change Radio, it will be the comment by Change Radio. It contains the link to the GoFundMe. It's easier, I think, for you to click that link, and it will take you to the page straight.
Very important information there. Very, very important information. So yes, there you have it, viewers and listeners. The links are in the comments. The GoFundMe link is also running on the banner below. And there's also the Change Radio number that if you cannot get any of those, you can send a message and you'll be given all the information about that GoFundMe link of where it is and how you can donate towards the president's car. Chief, before tavhara muchiri tese here na chief, tisati tavhara toda kungoti vangotipa mashoko ekuencourage mazimbabweans tese takadai also tiri kumativi mana enyika on the way forward, and just kungosimbisa vana veZimbabwe on what has happened. I know it's shocking. A lot of people are shocked. They cannot believe what just happened and what they saw with their own eyes. But just mashoko ekungosimbisa mhuri yeZimbabwe kuti look, patakadzvanya ndipapo, tirambe takadzvanya ipapo, and the way forward.
Handina mashoko ekusimbisa Sophie. Handina mashoko ekusimbisa. Ndine mashoko echokwadi. I just want to be blunt with the people of Zimbabwe, you know, because we have been attacked as MDC Alliance, people coming and writing everywhere. MDC Alliance, that's a very common statement, a very irritating statement, but it's a very common statement. MDC achakangonyarara, Chamisa wachakangonyarara. You've heard those statements before. When the MDC Alliance start doing something, when President Chamisa start doing something, people just keep quiet. You know, we are saying that time is over. The time for people to just come on ZimI, on Change Radio, on social media platforms, and then they comment and then they forget about everything. That time is over. We need people now to start putting, you know, their action where their mouth is. Let's support the programs that are going on right now in Zimbabwe. I know there is a GoFundMe going on about the car, the armored car. Let's support it. But right now, as I'm speaking, I'm always talking to the people on the ground. I'm very connected. I speak more to the people in Zimbabwe than the people in the diaspora. People need support. You are being chased, you know, and your car runs out of fuel, or you're worried about whether you're going to make it to the next destination or to the next place where you are safe. You are worried about the fuel. Is the fuel going to get me there? Those are things that we need to take care of. The people in Zimbabwe are already doing their part. They are working under a hostile, very hostile environment. They shouldn't be worried about things like fuel. They shouldn't be worried about things like food. I can tell you there are people that have gone for days without food. That right now, as I'm speaking, people that are on the ground, people, even some of them that are driving, even the president himself, they will not be knowing where they are going to sleep. You know, you're talking of a person who is supposed to be driving the president and is sleeping in a car because they don't know where to sleep. They don't have anything to go and book somewhere. We're not saying it should be luxurious, but for someone who is going to be driving the president and other MDC officials, they need to be in a place where they can rest. You know, those are things that we overlook, but those are things that make any struggle go forward. You cannot have a revolution without resources. We can't have that. You can forget about that. Yes, people sacrifice. They sacrifice their time. They sacrifice their lives. They sacrifice being with their families. All those sacrifices are being done by the people that are on the ground. What are we doing as diaspora? Let's come together and put resources there. Fuel is compound. Fuel is important. It's critical. You need that. So if you are willing, get in touch with me right now. We form a group. We have our special reaction group where we contribute those who want to contribute. Don't text me. Don't call me if you're prepared to contribute to what is going on in Zimbabwe right now. But if you want, put your number there. I can get in touch with you. If you want, get in touch with me right now. We have a small group right now of people that are reacting to this situation. I can tell you that $1,000 has just been sent a few minutes ago because there was no fuel. There was no fuel. So we need people like that. Not people who just, sloganeer, people who just talk. Let's move away from the time and the process of just, saying chinja. If you want to say chinja, nemuromo wako, nemani action yako, nemari yako. You want to say you love President Chamisa, ngapinde mkomana ake ngapinde, anopinda kana paine support, kana paine resources. If you are doing something about it, let it not just be rhetorical, or verbal. We want the action that the people on the ground to be sustained, up to 2023. Let's open up our hearts. let's open up our pockets and do what we have to do. Hakuna munhu anodya mari yevanhu. Unotenga ma-coupons, fuel coupons. You know, tinotenga ma-fuel coupons kupuma ariko. If anyone wants, we have the quotation. You know, badara mari yako direct kupuma. Aupe mari yako chief. Aupe mari yako anyone else. And then those who are responsible will just go and pick up, the treasury will go and pick up the coupons and distribute them. Some to the youth, some to women assembly, some to organizing department, some to the president's office. Tapedza madip, tapedza masports. So if you want to be part of that initiative, you consider my immediate needs. I know there are other initiatives, but right now we're talking of immediate needs so that we can sustain what is going on right now. Get hold of me, get in touch right now. We'll direct you. Auskupa mari yako chief and mari yemunini. Tokuza kokuendesa mari yako kubhadhara account iripo unongobhadhara vanhu wena unotora ma-coupons. You get a report kuti mari yako iya ma-coupons akadistributwa zvakadai. Very transparent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief, for those words of encouragement. But like you said, that you are going to be blunt about what it needs to be done. I think the people of Zimbabwe, the viewers and listeners, have heard, and you coming up with a very, very good program there, where people who need to support, who want Mkomana kuti apinde, they must also support with resources. Thank you very much. Chirega nditore mukana uno kuti it was a wonderful to be with you, viewers and listeners. I think now takupendera chirongwa chedu. We were speaking about the attempt of president's assassination, and I think tasvika kwamvura yacheka makumbo. Inini ndinonzi DJ Prof. Tinosangana zvakare mune zvimwe zvirongwa zvinotevera. Ngatisangane kuChange Radio mangwana nenguva dza 8 o'clock manheru tichidambura tichizivisana zvakasiyana-siyana zvinenge zvichiitika munyika yeZimbabwe. Nekuti nguva ine tiri kuona kuti ZANU-PF chacho yatokwinya. Saka hanzi kana wadenha mangwiro newe wotoita sei wotokwinya. Handei tione tinosvitsana kwamvura yacheka makumbo. Leaders of mungachi bhabhaisa kana kuti kuendeka vateereri. Musi kunzwika nevateereri leader, muri pamute. Ya ndovuga zvinenge zviri kuramba. Indoramba ndichiblema Rutendo Benison ndiye ari kuita zvese izvozvi. Ndoramba ndichiblema Rutendo Benison mwana wamaika siyana nezvauri kuita. Vana veZimbabwe takapindwa nehasha iko zvine zvatisotomboda kunzwa zvisina basa. Thank you very much. Let me also thank the people who were working behind the scene, our admin, leader Estella, and all the people who make this program to be there. Ngatisangane zvakare tichange tichikupai ma-updates akasiyana-siyana tikangonzwa anything. Isusu tinouya panapa every time. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, have a wonderful afternoon, have a wonderful morning, depending with which country or geographical location where you are. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Sound each and every time we go live where we